So Mass Squad, I already know you see it. 2019 iPad Air, third generation. First impressions coming up. So with the iPad Air third generation, as you saw in the intro of this video here, I primarily got this device because I needed to take my editing on the go, realizing that it wasn't a factor of me not wanting to edit, more so the convenience of editing while you're not home. So how did I get the device? I got the device through my carrier, Verizon. The specific model that I got was the iPad Air third generation, 256 gig. I wanted to get something that was in the middle of the pack. I didn't want to get the iPad Pro only because it was a little bit more money for the amount of storage that I needed. And I wasn't comfortable spending that much for it, even though I know the performance and editing power is probably a little bit better. But with the iPad Air, you get the A12 Bionic chip, which is a pretty good chipset if you ask me. I already ran some Geekbench tests on it. One thing for sure, with me already editing a video with the iPad Air, it is really, really fast. So let's talk about some specifications for the iPad. You get the A12 Bionic chip, 3 gigs of RAM, as I said earlier, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. You get a lightning port for charging, not USB Type-C, lightning port. You get dual speakers on the bottom, which are really loud. One of the surprising things about the iPad Air is how loud the speakers are. You get a 7 megapixel FaceTime camera, of course, and you get an 8 megapixel camera on the rear, and both of them are capable of shooting 1080p video at 30 frames per second. You also get Touch ID in this device. Touch ID is cool, but if I use the code, it's like no big deal. And one of the key things on this device here, you actually get a headphone jack. So they haven't forgot how to put a headphone jack in a device because this iPad Air third generation has one. The screen is 10.5 inches, I believe. It might be 10.2, but I think it's 10.5. And it comes in about around 3 pounds. It's extremely light. I love the fact that it's small and portable, and the screen itself is beautiful. When I first took this thing out of the box, because I got it about a couple of days ago, when I first took this iPad out of the box, I realized the screen on this thing is beautiful. I didn't realize how nice it was until I actually got to hold one in my hand in my own house with the brightness cranked all the way up, looking at what I wanted to look at. And yeah, this Retina display is really, really crisp. 1080p video at 60 frames per second look amazing on this screen here. Keep in mind, this is just a first impressions video here. I only had the device for about a few days, and I don't want to give anything that's concrete. I'm still in a little bit of that butterfly stage, and we all know how we are as people in the butterfly stage. In my opinion, probably 2 to 3 of the most important things about this iPad and what will make you really feel like you got your money's worth is one being the performance. When I first started using this iPad, I didn't realize how powerful and how fast it was. It's a pretty snappy thing, and anything from as far as installing applications, opening up applications, bouncing in and out of applications, this thing can handle it with no problem. I was able to download videos in the background, watch videos, have videos playing in the background, downloading files from this app, uploading files from this app. The thing is a killer performer. And if you need something that's a powerhouse, the iPad Air third generation is a great alternative if you don't want to spend close to that $1,000 or more than that $1,000 on the iPad Pro. The second thing about the iPad Air, which is kind of surprising for me, is the battery life on this thing. I was using the tablet today and I had it on about 97%, and I was doing miscellaneous things on it, YouTube, going in and out of applications, emailing, stuff like that. And I got it down to about 93%. I took it inside where I was, and basically started editing a video. The cool thing about that is that when I was editing a video, I didn't lose too much percentage, and I was kind of surprised by that because I had it on a pretty fair amount of brightness. I also had Wi-Fi on, I had mobile data on. As I said earlier, this is a Verizon model, so I do have their LTE SIM. So if I'm not around Wi-Fi, yes, I do have access to their data. So as I was saying, the battery life on this thing, from using it to edit a video, I probably dropped about 10%. And I'm saying it's been about a few hours at this point. And by the time I got home, I was down to about 73%. And this is over the course of about 8 to 9 hours. I only lost about 20% of battery life. So with the iPad Air, despite how thin it is, the battery in this thing is really, really impressive. I only had to charge this thing one time since taking it out of the box, and I'm in love already. The third thing that I would say makes this iPad absolutely worth every single dollar are the speakers and how they sound. I'm actually impressed personally because of how thin the device is, but what audio is capable of putting out. This thing gets loud. And I'm not kidding when I say that. I mean loud. And it doesn't sound distorted. It sounds nice and crisp. Something that you wouldn't expect a device this thin to actually do. So those three things are definitely something that's made a huge impression on me, and I'm able to see just how great it is within the first few days of owning or using the tablet here. That's pretty much the first impressions of the iPad Air 3rd generation. Full review for this device will be coming in the next few weeks or so, but just know with the first impressions, I'm in love. I'm not going to put a ring on it, but I'm in love. And I have to give kudos to Apple. This product is nice. It's the perfect middle ground between the base model and the Pro model. So Mac Squad, in the comment section below, have you ever considered getting an iPad? Do you think the 2019 iPad Air 3rd generation is it worth the money? Have you used one? Do you have one? Do you have any tips and tricks for me? Let me know in the comment section below. But be sure to share this video with your friends and family and let them know that not all Android cameras suck. It's just not true. But until then, my name is Max Rock. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, y'all. Deuces.